Market update here on the 28th. Let's go over Nvidia first. After hours finished at 116.99 and it's at 118 overnight. They killed earnings. They absolutely destroyed earnings. The only concern were that the margins are topping out from what I've gathered. Margins are topping out and net income is slowing down compared to revenue. So those are the only concerns on the balance sheet from what I've read about. And yeah, let's get into the technicals now. So based on that, it should be going up still. I still think there's a very good chance it goes up. But overnight right now it's at 118. So what's going on? Probably still in this fourth wave. And I'll show you where I'm looking to decide if the rally is finished or not. But basically, this is kind of hard to read. Going into the end of the day, I would have been looking for this to make up to here, somewhere in this box again, and then sell off down to 118. So this isn't really unexpected. I was kind of expecting this move. As soon as this got invalidated right here at 123, that was the sign that we're coming down. But is this an impulse move? Doesn't look like an impulse move down either. So it's not necessarily bearish. So basically what I see in the chart is kind of what is going on with the stock. It's like it's going down, but it's not necessarily bearish. The stock killed earnings. So that makes me think that we are just looking at a fourth wave. It's just kind of cooling off. It's going to destroy all the premium on options. And so I'm looking for a C wave here. I was looking for it anyway. C wave down here. And this right here is, this is 6 hour demand, 115 to 118. And here are the important spots. So you have 6 hour demand there. That's also right around the 0.38 fib. So 0.838 fib is right here at 118. And then you have the very, very important 20 DMA right here. So the 50 and the 20. If it loses tomorrow, if it loses 115.21, I would say there's a very good chance the fourth wave is over with. And this was a very extended B wave. That would pretty much invalidate the 5-wave move in my opinion. If we come down here and hit 118 and then rise, then I think this can keep on going up. I think it can hit potentially, if we go down to 118, we could see a move up to maybe 136, but the thing is the top is here at 140. So if this was a fifth wave, I'd want to see it break above this, unless it's a truncated wave 5. So I'm still watching it like everybody else. I'm watching these moving averages. I want to see this fourth wave play out. It looks like a fourth wave to me. Should get another move higher, but it seems like they're playing games with options. Another thing to look at too is there were $40 million worth of calls for 8:30 here. 40 million. They were in the money, and I'm sure that they did this just in case they wanted to sell for a loss. They wouldn't lose all their money. But yeah, above the ask, there were $40 million of 110 calls for Friday, and that means that they're bullish. So they're either going to lose a bunch of money or the stock's going to go up. So it's possible we see something down here and then it just runs through Friday, or they exercise those calls and then it runs over the next couple of weeks. So I think that is still bullish, but they might take this week to kill all the premium on those calls. So overall, I'm still bullish on Nvidia for one more move up. Kind of fits with what I'm thinking of the overall market too, but we'll see. It might just be into early next week or late next week that this makes a new high. Maybe it takes all the way to OPEX in September. So next couple of days might be down here to kill all the premium, but we'll see where it opens up at. All right, got to go over Tesla. Finish at 205.75. I took a lot of profit on my puts because I was expecting a pop on Nvidia, but we didn't get that. I was expecting a pop from here too after. Well, this one's kind of like in a spot where if it's going to go down, it's probably barely going to go down. Maybe hit 200 and then bounce. But here's my count for this wave 3 or wave C. This is the only thing that makes sense to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got an extension. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there into demand. And I sold a lot of my puts around 203, 204. And then we got this big bounce, which definitely looks impulsive to me. And after hours, it was back down to 203 something. So I think that there's a very good chance that Tesla bottoms short term. We're going to see tomorrow, though. We'll see. Because look at this. It hit the parallel line pretty much perfectly as well. So I drew the parallel line. Here, let's do this. It basically hit the very bottom of it. Not quite. Now, hold on. This is log chart. It's a slight difference on the log chart. No, we hit it pretty much perfectly. So, in my opinion, this finished 5 waves. I didn't draw all the numbers here, but it looks to me that was 5 waves. And then we get the nice bounce here. So, from here on out, this did not hit the 1.61 fib. And we're going to see the 1.61 fib is down here at 200. Sorry about the noise. I'm in an Airbnb. If you can hear that water running in the background. But anyway, ABC right here. You see the C wave right here. Or this has more to go down. This would make this a 4th wave. In my opinion, my count, this has already bottomed for 5 waves. It made 9 waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think it bottomed already. And the only possibility of it going down anymore is if it makes an ABC move for a 4th wave. So if we get something like this into the end of the week, then next week I would say we're going to get another move down like that. If that happened, I'd be looking for probably 207 for a bounce, and then a move all the way down to 190. But honestly, there is a 20 on the weekly at 197. If it loses 197, that would be really, really bearish. So for all those reasons, we're going to see what happens. Is this the bottom right here on Tesla, or is it going to bounce and make another low? It's already in demand. This is weekly demand. It also held the 200 DMA right here at 203, finished above that. So that's definitely bullish for it to move back up here to the 20. And so we're going to find out. If this is a C wave, it finished right on the parallel line. So it makes a lot of sense for this to be a C wave. And that would mean that we could head up. If Nvidia starts heading up, we could head up as well to 255, potentially. So we're going to see tomorrow, what is Tesla going to do? How is it going to react if Nvidia is selling off? We're watching Nvidia, we're watching the 20 DMA, and we're watching this move right here. Is this going to end up being something like this? Or is it going to just be, if this happens right here, that's bearish. If we get this, that's obviously bullish, and that probably means we are heading up to that gap fill at 245, and I would expect that to happen probably within the next like 12 to 15 days, maybe right into the rate cuts, the next FOMC. So this would end up being an ABC move also. It's another thing to note. This was not long enough. So I would actually look for something like this. Maybe something up to here, pull back, like that. Yeah, something like that. So maybe up here to 228 first, pull back, and then a move up to 245. So I don't know. You tell me. Is this going to keep on dragging lower, or are we going to get that final move up to 245? I'm watching this bounce. Is it going to be impulsive, or is it going to be corrective? There's no option activity on Tesla, I don't think. Very little. You had some puts down here at the lows, but nothing substantial. You have a call here. Yeah. I said I was in FUBO. I'll show you that it hit the target that I had set right here at, and I bought at 164. Some more. I have some orders down in here too. Just kind of scaling into an average here. I think eventually this is going to $4. Microsoft, I saw a big call buy coming on Microsoft. Actually a few. Above the ask, 2 million here for 1018. You had some puts down to here, and I guess those are still for the 30th actually. So Microsoft finished above all moving averages, or not all moving averages, two of the moving averages. So barely finished above the 200. And that's actually the last moving average. I'm sorry. Let's look at this right here. We got the 20 at 412. Yeah, so it finished above the 200, which is very, very crucial. And it filled this gap right here, basically. And we got call buying coming in at the close. So, again, I think that this is probably going to go up as well. And this is very, very crucial. I don't think I've ever seen a stock. Very rarely I see a stock sell off like this, and especially a large cap stock, barely bounce on the daily standard deviation and then come down here and break the low this far down. It's still at negative 1.5 standard deviations into demand above the 200. This means we're probably going to get this. And there's a lot of people that are bearish right now, actually. I mean, I still think the bear move is going to come, but I do think that there's more than likely going to be that bounce. And I could see this going all the way up to $450. I think Microsoft can get all the way up to $450. We have only retraced. Oh, we retraced to the 0.5 fib. So that's technically enough for it to be done. But again, the standard deviations, I would say we're probably coming up here farther. So usually I would say this is probably going to look like this. If it's going to go down, it's going to be something like this. And then they're probably going to, bring it back here. And then big sell after that. This will change right here. The whole structure of the standard deviations will probably slant down. So right now I'm pretty bullish on Microsoft. You get the bullish calls coming in. You're in demand. Finished above the 200 DMA. And there's a lot of supply zones up here. I think there's actually a gap up there as well. No gaps, actually. So Microsoft probably bullish from here. Let's look at Meta. Meta had a really big put come in. Whoops. Had a $5.7 million put for 920 come in. Also had a few calls though, but this one was the only one above the ask. 5.7 million at 516 as well. What is Meta after hours? Not sure, but in the last video I said 510 was the maximum for this to go. It hit 512 yesterday. They bought this at 516 early in the morning. So you never know. They might have already unloaded it. This is definitely a B wave right here. So unless this extends down farther, they're not always right, I guess. This finished above the 20 as well. So I'm going to say this is probably finished, even despite that put buy. And I think there's a very good chance that this is going to retrace from here along with Nvidia after it sells off and Tesla. Let's look at the dollar. Let's get a count on the dollar. So this is a C wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So it's looking to me like the dollar probably has one more move down. You see here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Parallel line right there. So I've said before 99 to 100 on the dollar. And that would complete 5 waves. And that would complete the overall C wave and the overall B wave. And then I've drawn this up already. And this is another reason why I'm expecting a big sell-off in stocks. The dollar is about to blast off. So, again, A, B, C. It might only go up to 104, but it can go all the way up here to 112 as well. You can see here we're very oversold. First of all, standard deviation wise, we're way outside of. We're about 2.5 right now. And so maybe it only goes up to 104, but we're about to get that C wave correction. And then after that is when we're going to get the big move down. That. And then that's when I'm expecting the blow off top in the market. I don't think we're there yet. Because this can go all the way down here to like 92. Dollar loses a lot of value. Stocks usually go up. So that's what I'm looking for in the dollar. And SMCI, let's go over that. I did a video about a month ago and I was saying sub 400 and it finally did that. But it took a Hindenburg research hit piece in order to get there. And I've had this drawn up for a while here at 327 to 254. And I was saying that's fine for a fourth wave. it can go all the way down from 1,200 down to 330 and be a fourth wave. And most people will say, there's no way, that's a second wave or that's a big retracement. Not on the log chart. On the regular chart, yeah, it looks like you're doing some kind of like second wave. But on the log chart, this is only a fourth wave to me. Let's zoom out here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think it still has another move higher as well. But yeah, it's down. Let's go on this short-term time frame actually. I know that seems crazy to people too. It's gonna go all the way down to 300 and then go back up. Especially with Nvidia potentially topping out. Yeah, this looks like it is. Let's see here. One, two, three. It looks to me like probably some kind of extended ABC move. So it's obviously past that area. Let's draw a parallel line though and just see. So maybe this is 5 waves down. I guess that makes a little bit of sense. So maybe this retraces and then comes over here later in the year. So potentially something like this. Gets outside that parallel line and then takes off. Looks like this is probably the A wave. Pretty deep for an A wave though. And it looks like it's 5 waves actually. So we'll see what happens on this. I'm not in this stock. I didn't touch it last time. I wasn't going to play that bounce. But if it comes down here, I would potentially be looking for a position. So 330 all the way down to 250. I think that's pretty much it. Let's see what AMD did today. 146. On AMD, it's still above the 20 here. So it has potential to still go up with Nvidia. But if it loses, it's kind of the same situation. If it loses the 20 and closes below it, that would be bearish. Same with Nvidia. So we'll see what happens with that one. There's a gap up here at 174. And what else? The VIX at 17. So I've had the weekly demand zone here for a while, and I still think it can get down to weekly demand at 13 bucks. So we'll see if that happens and the market's going to melt up. And let's go over the indexes. I have not done that yet. So QQQ 471. Same situation as Nvidia. Needs to hold 463 in order to make that final move up here to 495. Standard deviations, again, if it drops from here to 407, it'd be like at 6 standard deviations. So more than likely it's going to come up here first to 496, potentially into the rate cut. SPY. A lot more bullish, but it's already filled all of its gaps. But I would think that if QQQ goes up, this is going to go up as well. I'm just watching the moving averages right now. Should be in a fourth wave. Needs to hold like 548, 545. Perfectly healthy right now. Would like to see the 20 cross the 50 though. And if this goes up here to, let's say 575 and then retraces on a correction, I can see that being a second wave and then 2025. So I think that they're still playing people. They're playing retail right now. A lot of fear in the market. But I do think there's going to be a big correction in September or October, one of the two. We'll take it day by day. That's pretty much it for this video. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe. I'll put the chapters in the description, probably make it easier to watch these videos.